I'm about 50-50 on it. I think it's curious that they are looking into cold cases in Pennsylvania right now, and possibly there's some rumors that possibly there's two that they're specifically looking at that have some traits along with this. So, I'm going to tell you, if something comes out and his DNA matches any of those victims between now and in June, and it says he's being charged in a crime in Pennsylvania because his DNA matches up, it's doomsday for that dude. He's going down hard. Laura, aka Agent Chase. I've dubbed you Agent Chase.
Good evening, Brian. Good evening, opinionated idiots here. Hope everybody's having a great night, and it's about to get better, I believe.
I hope so. Yeah, I think we've been kind of sleuthing this out here. This whole this whole update with Bethany Funk.
I just want to say one thing before we get into Bethany.
Sure.
The body that was found in Monroe County, Pennsylvania, it was a walking distance of 15 minutes from the missing person, Dana Smithers. It's actually 0.3 miles between where the body was found and her home where she was her phone was last seen, and her next door neighbor. So it's a quarter mile. And it's just off of Interstate 80, which would have been the main way to go from, say, Albrightsville, Pennsylvania to Stroudsburg, but that is just, a coincidence.
Just a coincidence.
The body was very close, and this is my local news. It's breaking. It just came out this afternoon.
Yeah,
we pray for her family. We pray for her family, that no matter what happens, they get answers in peace.
Absolutely. It's something that, I think going back to when Bryan Kohberger was arrested, obviously knowing, where he was from that area in Pennsylvania, just being Pennsylvania itself, the questions were, has he done this before? Is PA investigating, some cold cases to see if there's any types of connections? And I know that Dana Smithers' name has been brought up a lot around kind of in this circle of Idaho. And, I don't want people to not, I don't want people to just ignore this. If it's not any type of, relation in this, I think it's still, informative to get her information out there, because maybe someone knows something or heard something. Even if Kohberger's not tied to, this or any of this is tied to this, I still think that to raise awareness in this case and get it out there, I don't want to pass, just lightly pass on this. So we'll continue some updates here.
Absolutely.
In her case as well, because she deserves justice as well. And it's a strange incident. I think what was the last thing that was seen of her was on a ring cam, and she literally vanished into existence. So it's sad, and her family needs answers too.
And I pray for her children and her family. It's horrible, and hopefully she is found safe, and if not, I hope they get their answers.
Absolutely. Let me pull this up. Heads up to Laura for giving me a heads up on this today. She's been on this case because she lives in and around that area. But if you haven't seen the remains found in Stroudsburg, identify missing woman as Dana Smithers. Now, we've been watching this, and Laura says, Brian, when you throw out ideas, we think and keep brainstorming. Yeah, absolutely. Just another thought. But I wanted to bring some attention to this. So Dana Smithers has been found. Her remains have been found. I'll read this article really quick. Human remains found in Stroudsburg Thursday have been identified as a missing person, Dana Christine Smithers. Monroe County Coroner Tom Yanka conducted an autopsy Monday. A portion of the remains were examined by forensics. Oh God, I'm not going to get that. Ontologist. I might have got it. Who helped confirm the identity of the remains using dental records. Results of the autopsy are pending further testing. According to the Stroudsburg Area Regional Police Department, the case and manner of death are currently undetermined. The case remains an active, ongoing investigation. On Thursday, April 27, Stroudsburg Borough employee discovered human remains in a wooden area near the Interstate 80 East on the off-ramp Park Avenue. And we know that she was reported missing in 22. She went missing. Smithers was reported missing in June, on June 4th, 22, after she was last seen on May 28th, 22 at approximately 11:05 p.m. via surveillance camera, leaving a friend's house in Strasburg, not far from her home. So I'm not going to read too much of it. I know that you're all aware of this case, but why am I reading about this? Well, there has been some implications and some things out there on the internet that have talked about possibility of maybe this was a Bryan Kohberger victim. Again, that's just people speculating. I'm only speculating here. I'm not saying that it's solid that he is that he was the person that did this. I am not saying that at all, but I'm just talking about theories. And I think a lot of it is timeline issues where she went missing on the 4th. Bryan Kohberger moved out at the end of June to Pullman. He's literally right in around that area where his parents are. I think Laura mapped it out. It's literally within a mile, I think, where his parents are. Am I right, Laura? Am I right on that? Because you did all the legwork on that. Yeah, so Laura says, wait for this chat to come up, says her body was found a quarter mile from her home and right next to Interstate 80, which would have been most likely routes BK would have taken from his home to Strasburg. I hope I'm saying that right. Strasburg. Yeah, it's 30 minutes from Strasburg. So it's interesting. It's an interesting case. Again, I'm not saying he has anything to do with this. I'm not implicating him in that. The authorities will make those decisions and find out who did this. But I wanted to just bring this up at the end of the stream so everybody knows, because I know we've been following this here on this channel, that the Smithers family can now have some peace. They found the remains, unfortunately, of Dana, and they can have some closure in this and find out who did this to her. Because that needs to be found out. And I will keep reporting on this and give you updates if there's any updates. And I just thought it's important to bring this up and let everybody know what's going on. So